It has been months since my last book haul. I think I said last year I was going to start doing the monthly and then I completely forgot. So I was trying to collect everything around my house. I probably forgot some things, but I have, I think, 15 books that I've hauled that I haven't yet read and about 32 books that I have already read. I feel like that ratio is good because I'm trying really hard this year not to add any books to my TBR closet because I'm doing this whole trying to read 26 books from my TBR closet, and if I just replace them all, that's going to be really annoying. So if I buy a new book, it goes on my TBR shelf and it stares at me every day, and hopefully I'll get to all of these by the end of the year. First, I'm going to show you my most exciting stack. This is books that I have purchased since reading the book and loving the book. So either I exclusively listened to the audiobook, like I got an ARC, or I borrowed the library book, what have you, and then I loved it and I purchased it afterwards. This is just a great cycle for me to be in where I make sure I love a book before I buy it, and that has happened to me 5 times this year. So the first one, I still need to take this little sticker off, but it's Any Trope But You by Victoria Levine. I read this in a video where I was like reading other people's favorites. This woman goes to this retreat, and the man there, they fall in love. It's pretty simple. But for me to give a romance 4 stars, it's gotta be pretty good. So I purchased that, and not for full price. So hell yeah. And then The Mystery of Time, I borrowed from, did I get it from the library? I feel like I had the physical copy in my hand when I was reading it. Anyway, then I went out and got the paperback. This is about a group who is time traveling people from the past without their consent, really, and trying to understand time travel, and then not a lot happens, to be perfectly honest. This one, The Other Side of Now, you haven't heard anything about unless you're a channel member or you follow me on TikTok. So this is The Other Side of Now by Paige Harbison. I will have this in my wrap up at the end of the month to give you a proper review, but it's my favorite kind of story where there's a woman experiencing 2 different versions of her own reality, and that's it. Navigating friendships, her career, romantic entanglements, etc. Then I purchased Notes on Infinity, which is a book that I had like never heard of until I read it for a video where I was reading other people's favorites from last year. I read the library book, fell in love with it, gave it a 4 point something. This is a couple characters who are convinced that they have discovered like immortality, but it's also really mundane and slow, and it barely talks about immortality at all. And then this one, Weaving Shaw, I had an e-arc kindly sent to me by the publisher, and I had such a good time in this gothic romance world, and I want the second book. I want to ensure this does it properly turn into a series, so I spent all my money, $41.99 Canadian, to make sure that this book made some money so I can get the sequel. Because when I tell you, I need the sequel to a romance, to a romantic fantasy, who are we? Okay, I feel like next stack that would be most interesting is Really Tall. And it's all the books I haven't read yet. This is fine. This is a normal way to do this. Talent. Okay, so let's talk about the Literally Dead Book Club because we're reading The Fisherman, and the live show will be in like a week and a half. This is about 2 men who go on a fishing trip, and there's some like entity that they've heard rumors about. I also haven't read Best Offer Wins yet because this is also a Literally Dead Book Club pick for next month. This is like a woman who's trying to buy a house, and she gets so obsessed with wanting to buy this house that she like stalks people, maybe something like that. People have told me it's a little wackadoodle and that it's funny. I have this survey out right now that everybody can fill out with books that made you cry. Oh my God, this hurts. I have so many books in my lap. Books that made you scared, books that made you swoon, and this showed up a couple times in books that made you laugh. So I might also read it for that video. For Human Use, I purchased, because this is a brand new release, Sarah G. Pierce. There's something about like cadavers. I know I've pitched this multiple times, but I can't really remember. Finding human connection is difficult, so there's a dating app to match people with dead bodies. Like, I still don't know what the hell we're talking about, but I have to read that soon. I feel like this stack, I have to have videos in mind or like dates in mind that I know I'm going to read them. That's how I have to go into these things, which is why I don't accept very many ARCs, because I don't want to just have piles of books that then I start to feel obligated to get to rather than excited to get to. This is one that I cannot wait to read. This is The Library After Dark by Andy Pliego. And I'd be lying if I didn't say, what am I trying to say? I feel like a reason that I am so excited about this is because I gave the last Andy Pliego 4 stars. We read it for the Literally Dead Book Club and other people like really hated it. So I would be lying if I didn't say that that is a reason, like other people's dislike, for making me want to think like I have to read the next thing from her because like I am an Andy Pliego fangirl. Like Andy Pliego is just for me. I know a lot of people did love that book, but this one, a woman gets stuck in a library and there's a murder. What could be more fun? Like what could be more fun? This was a little more of an impulse buy and I don't have a plan for when I'm going to read it. So this one's tough. It's Most Eligible by Isabel Engel. And I did purchase this without trying it out because it was a book of the month selection and I hadn't ordered book of the month for a minute. And I was like, this one sounds good. And I had some credits and I've been more into reality show books lately. So I thought maybe one day I'll do some type of recommendation video with reality show books. And this I can add to the list. Whether I like it or not, I feel like I could recommend a book. I don't remember what this is about. It's just like a dating reality show. That's really all I know about it. It's like there's backstabbing contestants, producer blackmail, death-defying dates. Oh, she's not going on the hit reality dating show, Our Main Character, Georgia, to find love. She's there to write a killer expose on the producers because she's trying to get a journalism job. That does sound like perfect for me. I know I read that at some point when I was trying to decide if I wanted to get it. And also like pink and green is my favorite color combination. That's all the justification we need. This one is Adrift by Will Dean. This is coming from Aardvark and I didn't even know Will Dean had something coming up and I've only read one Will Dean, but it had me shaken. Like it was so fun. It was so fast paced and it was surprising. So I thought like I have to read this one. It's a vacation mystery thriller. And I think that's all I know about it. And Aardvark, I didn't buy this. Aardvark sends me things for free because I have a code with them. I'm an affiliate. So if you use Lala4, you can get your first book for $4 and then I get like a kickback and free books from them. Hello? So I try to keep it reasonable. Like the last month I didn't pick anything from Aardvark. The month before I only picked 2. I'm trying to keep it cute and I want to read that. I just don't know when. Maybe for Summerween. Yeah, vacation thriller during Summerween. Okay, I've made a plan. We made a plan. This one I don't have a plan for and I bought it full price. Brand new. This is The Future Saints by Ashley Winstead. And I just like Ashley Winstead more often than I don't like Ashley Winstead. So even though this is about fame, we have the lead singer of a band and she doesn't want to listen to people's direction. She's going to kind of do whatever she wants. And it just seems so different from other Ashley Winstead that I just wanted to give it a read and I didn't. I really should have reserved that from the library instead. Yeah. Okay. Next. This is Dixon Descending by Karen Outen. I'm going to read this for my sports video where in like the summertime where I read books about sports. This is about a character who's going to be the first Black American man to summit Mount Everest. I love Everest books. I'm trying to sift through this to justify why I bought some of these. Okay, Hex by Thomas Oldhovelt. I'm pronouncing that terribly, I'm certain. This is for a video coming up next month where I try out horror books from 2016 to try to find favorites from that year because I don't have a whole bunch of favorites. I'm going through like every year of horror reads from the last decade and trying to find new favorites. I don't think I actually know the plot of this. I think I knew it one time, but I don't know now. I just know I really want to try it because people have recommended this author to me, either this book or there's another one I think called Echo. There's something about a witch. That's all I remember. Welcome to Black Spring, the seemingly picturesque Hudson Valley haunted town haunted by the Black Rock Witch, a 17th century woman whose eyes and mouth are sewn shut. And she's haunting people. And people are investigating. High-tech surveillance. Like, the town is like trying to make sure they stay safe from this witch. Like, why aren't you just moving? This one is You Should Have Been Nicer to My Mom by Vincent Torrado. This is shorter than I thought, and I wanted to pick this for a Literally Dead Book Club pick, so I am still considering that. I'm going to read the first couple chapters and be convinced, yes or no, but I definitely want to read it for myself. There's a man who dies, and whence He's dying. He tells his family, one of you is a demon. And then the family has to figure out which one of them is a demon. I think that's the plot. That sounds fun. What else? Okay, while I was getting a book of the month pick, I was like, oh, I might as well get another book of the month pick. I don't know. Tayari Jones Kin. This seems like it's going to be one of those books of the year that everybody talks about. And at the end of the year, I'm going to wish that I had read because it's going to be on the Goodreads Choice Awards, etc. And I feel like maybe it's one of those stories because it follows two young girls who both lose their mothers. And I love stories where two characters like keep coming into contact with each other throughout the novel, or they're separated and then they have to find each other again. I think I just assumed, because we're following two young girls, that would be the plot, but maybe they're connected the entire time. I don't know. Oh yeah, Venice leaves for college, and Annie was abandoned. Oh, her mother's not dead. She was abandoned by her mother, and she's fixated on the idea of finding her. She sets off on a journey. So they're separated. They're coming back together. There's going to be tension. I think I'm going to love this. When am I going to read it? Somebody think of a video concept that I can throw that into. And also the next 5 books. Okay, so I bought 8 books in the past 3 months that I don't know when I'm gonna read. That's it. 8 books. That's not bad. That's not bad. Okay, this one, I don't even know what to say about it. The Nanny's Handbook for Magic and Managing Difficult Dukes. I saw it for $5. I said, give it to me for $5. I'm really into historical romance fantasy, and I think this is gonna work. Emmeline is a 25-year-old widow. She wants to get this job with this man. He's a horologist. What is that? Soon discovers that his heart-melting voice and captivating mind present an entirely different sort of trouble rather than just taking care of his 3 rambunctious wards. I don't know. I have no justification for that. This one, Ghostfish, Stuart Pennebaker. I don't know that I know what this is, but I remember seeing it on somebody's list at the end of the year of somebody who I have a lot in common with. But it was one that I was considering reading for reading other people's favorites at the beginning of the year, and I couldn't get the library hold in time. And so then like 2 months later, I saw it on sale for like $7. And I bought it. Allison is 23, mourning her sister. Oh no, I do know what this is. Her sister is a fish, or she's convinced that her pet fish is her sister, and she becomes obsessed with that. Like, yeah, that sounds just like it's for me. This one is so funny. She's Always Hungry, Eliza Clark, because I did this series of videos where I was guessing other people's favorites. Wow, I'm really yapping. I have so many books to get through, but these will be faster because I've already read them. A series of guessing people's favorites, and this showed up on 2 people's lists who had a lot in common with me, I think. And I was like, whoa, everyone has this on their favorites list. How is like this book, you know, got through without me ever seeing it before? I don't know what it is, learning what it is. It was only on 2 people's lists. On my entire besties favorites of like a couple thousand people, it was only on 2 people's lists. And I just happened to choose those 2 people as guessing their favorites. Anyway, it's a short story collection, I guess. And this was also a book that showed up multiple times in that survey where I asked books that made you laugh. This looks like horror, like I don't understand. So I think I might read it for that video. Yeah, I'll read it for that video. Short stories. Do you need to know what they're all about? I don't know. I also bought this, and to be fair, cheap, but you might remember I did borrow this from the library, and then I gave it back without reading it because I was considering it for my reality show video. I did a reality show video last year, and again, like I'm trying to read more reality show things. And so when I saw it on sale, I just bought it to own it. Pink and yellow, much like pink and green, one of my favorite color combinations. Don't you think this is beautiful? This is just about a reality show. I think it's a dating one, and someone gets the villain edit. She's a romance novelist. I forgot about that. Oh, right, and she had a one-night stand with someone, and then he turns out to be a producer of the show. The drama. Okay, and then this one, I have no justification for. None at all. It's Shield of Sparrows. The justification is I saw it on sale. I could get this from the library for sure. But I feel like maybe it's going to be a book that I'm going to want to tab or something. So I bought it. This was an option last year for a book to read for the Goodreads Choice Awards in the romantasy category, and it didn't get selected. And I've been thinking about it ever since. And people have told me, like, of all of the romantasy books out there, this is one that I should try. And then in my live show just the other day with my besties, someone said, are you planning on reading it for the next buzzword challenge? Because look, it has an accessory. Accessory is the cover challenge. And I was like, no. I have other books in mind, but that is a thing. We could think about that. Okay, so maybe I do have some plans. Okay, this stack, these last two stacks are things that I've already read. This one is books specifically purchased for videos. Like, I might have never read anything here if it wasn't planned for content. So I gave you Eyes and You Look Towards Darkness. I got this for, actually I got all of these for, plus another book in this stack that was already on my TBR, for trying out being a purple reader from that Read Your Color survey thing. So how do I describe the plot of this one? I don't know. It's about the dead. It's about like the living and the dead and all these people who've died in this house. Auditioned by Pip Adam. It started out being something that I was gonna love, and then it was just okay, where there are these giants on a spaceship, and depending on how they like act, the spaceship moves or they grow. And there was a lot of really interesting commentary. And then it turned out to just be okay. The Mezzanine by Nicholas and Baker, loved this. It's one escalator ride. I'd never heard of it before. And it's just this man overthinking every moment of his day. And then Under the Eye of the Big Bird is a collection of interconnected short stories set in the near future where a lot of children are like made in factories and there's different groups of people who are in charge of different things within the society. It makes sense that the books selected for purple readers are the difficult ones to explain. I picked this for a video. Actually, all of these for a video where I was, what was I doing? I was stealing recommendations from other people rather than my own comment section, other people's comment section. And I liked them. Convenience Store Woman by Sayaka Murata is a woman who works in a convenience store. And she feels like that is what she's meant to do. And she's happy about it. But other people interpret her differently. Paradise Logic, which I loved, is about a woman obsessed with becoming the perfect girlfriend. And she is very, wackadoodle. The way she sees the world is unique, but also not at the same time. How do you describe that? No clue. It's Different This Time by Joss Richard, another 4-point-something romance for me. I'm in my lover girl era, and I'm not gonna stop. I have more romances to read by the end of the month, and you're gonna be sick of me. This has to do with characters who were roommates years ago, and now they've been gifted this brownstone upon the death of the person who rented it to them, and they have not spoken in a very long time, so it's a second chance romance, and I liked it a lot. Then Promise Me Sunshine, speaking of romance. This I read for a video, but I don't think I'm actually going to put the footage in the video. And I'm just going to review it at the end of the month in my wrap up. It's a story of grief. We have a woman who has lost her sister, and she is just kind of trapped in her own despair. And spiraling and being really chaotic at the same time and trying to find roots. And so she takes care of this child, and the uncle of that child spends a lot of time with her, and they have a love story. I will talk about it more in my wrap up. Then we have Exiles by Mason Coyle. Like, yeah, this was loosely on my radar, but I don't know if I would have picked it up if not for a video where I was reading the most divisive favorites from last year. And it turned out to be a 5-star for me. We have these characters who are going to Mars, and when they get there, they know that they're there, but there are these robots there who have kind of set up the entire place for them and who are meant to continue to work for them, but they have gained some kind of sentience. Very interesting. Then When the Tides Held the Moon, this is such a heavy book by Vanessa Vita Kelly. This is a story of a person falling in love with a mer person. It's 1910s New York, Coney Island, and they're participating in like a kind of circus amusement park performance. It's a queer love story. It's a very substantial book with beautiful images, and I can't really remember what I rated it. I think it was like a 3.75. And then the flop for reading people's favorites, or this was from the divisive one too, Breathe In, Bleed Out by Brian McCulley. This is like a culty retreat wellness that these people go on, and it's like kind of billed as a slasher, but I don't know if that's what I would call it. In the last stack, thankfully the biggest stack, is just books that I wanted to read. And I read them. Like, they were just on my TBR. I read them. I fit them into lots of videos for sure, but I was just interested in them, and then I read them. A Ghastly Catastrophe by Deanna Raybourn, the 10th book in the Veronica Speedwell series, where there's a little mystery that these two people have to solve. Seasons of Glass and Iron by Amal El Motar. This was sent to me by the publisher. I was going to purchase it myself this week. It's a series of short stories, and I don't know if I can really pinpoint a theme of them. So I will work on my pitch of this because I'm going to have to tell you about it in my wrap up. I gave it like a 3.5. Chef's Kiss by TJ Alexander. I've been reading more like chef-y main characters, books set in kitchens, and I've been liking that. So I picked this one up. This is the trans rights readathon going on right now as well, and I wanted to make sure that I read something at this moment in time. This is about two characters who work at this restaurant together. One is a bisexual woman. One in the story comes out as non-binary, and it's how the rest of the restaurant reacts. And also they are putting on this YouTube show series together, so they're kind of forced together. They have very different personalities. I'll tell you more about that in my wrap up. This one I got alongside Kin from Book of the Month. This is Love as an Algorithm by Laura Brooke Robson. How would I describe this? Okay, so we have two characters who fall in love. It's like it's a love story. It's a love story. It's not a romance. It's very much about their own personal lives and careers. I didn't realize how much of her career as a singer would be in the book, and his career creating AI, technology, and apps. Things get a little contentious between them regarding that, and they use this app to figure out how to communicate with each other and like how good their relationship is, and it kind of takes over their relationship. I'll tell you more about that and my thoughts on it in the wrap up. Then I got The Lies That Summon the Night by Tessonja Odette. I read this for a Romantasy video. I don't know exactly how to pitch this one. Ever since art gave life to bloodthirsty shadows, creative works have been forbidden and talented creators sacrificed to the sinless. Okay, yeah, so it's kind of like a vampire-y. There's different levels of people who can consume who, and there's sinners and non-sinners, and it's like understanding that the world is not exactly as told to them, but it's mostly a romance between two people. Burn Down Master's House. This was sent to me by Aardvark. I selected this from Aardvark to be sent because I was going to buy it on my own anyway, so hell yeah, free book. This is a group of different characters in different situations who are all getting revenge on the people who have enslaved them. I thought it was very good. Vigil by George Saunders. Incredible. About somebody who is responsible for ferrying the dead into the afterlife, and her current charge is not doing exactly as she expects them to. He has no remorse, even though he has done terrible things to the planet. And then the Mystical Cat, Agnes Aubert's Mystical Cat Shelter by Heather Fawcett. Of course, I was going to pick up the next Heather Fawcett. And this is historical, set in Montreal, where we have a woman who is trying to keep her cat shelter, and she's also falling in love. How to Kill a Guy in 10 Dates, I purchased and read for the Literally Dead Book Club. We have a whole discussion about it. It is a proper romance thriller where in any other book, and I feel like people are still doing this, but I feel like in any other book, it's like you want to yell at the character, like, why are you so horny all the time? Like, people are trying to kill you. You should probably try to survive. But instead, like, she can't stop making out with this guy. But, like, that's the point, and that's the pitch of the book as, like, this slasher romance. And I think it really leans into the ridiculousness of it so perfectly. I purchased and read Black Owned. This is The Revolutionary Life of the Black Bookstore, which is a history of Black owned bookstores. Books and Bewitchment by Isla Jewell. I purchased, wanted to read, read it, hated it. It's in a Romantasy vlog. There's a woman who like moves to a small town, is going to run a business. Everything goes awry. She falls in love. The Star Seekers by Nicole Glover I was interested in reading. I didn't love it as much as I thought I would, but it's about the first Black astronaut at NASA in this fictional story going on a spaceship. Then I purchased Thrum by Meg Smitherman. I think just a lot of people were talking about this one, and I'm always looking for like a mix of horror and romance, especially lately. Like that's just what I want. And people said this. I don't know if it really delivered exactly what I wanted, but it is set in space, and it's a very unique premise of her being horny for an alien. Then on Sunday, she picked Flowers by Yaya Schofield. This is about a woman who flees her family home, her childhood home. She has been abused, and it's about her just like making a life for herself, finding a place to be, making this house a home that she finds, and the people who are coming after her and all of her relationships. Then, of course, another reality show book, but this one I've actually read. This is Escape by Stephen Fishbach. It's set on an island. It's like a jungle survival show. I don't remember a lot about the plot actually, but I gave this 4 stars. Yeah, a lot of it is like the build up to the reality show first. We see him navigating like this reality show world and going to an event and like communicating with all these different people and making plans, and then we follow them on the show as the tensions start to rise. And then lastly, book that I bought and read is Throne of Nightmares by Carrie Maniscalco. I fit this into another romantasy video where I just wanted an excuse to put all of the brand new romantasy that I wanted to read already into one video, and this was a 3 point something. I'm gonna continue reading in this series, The Princes of Sin. This one I wanted to like more than I did, but I still think I could find a 5-star within this series. And we, in each book, have a different Prince of Sin. So this one is Sloth. And Sloth is like really misunderstood, of course, and his magic comes from like learning in books and knowledge. And I just didn't like his like love story, but I like all of the Princes of Sin. I like their dynamics, but I like when we have romantic interest who's more aligned with them, because in here she's just kind of that typical like younger, more innocent, naive feeling girl who's like introduced to magic for the first time, and that's not always my favorite, but I really like Carrie Maniscalco's writing. So that's everything and all of it, and let me know any of your thoughts. If you can think of concepts for me to fit these videos into, or if you want to read any of these books now, if I've convinced you. I think book hauls are good even though I've talked about all of these books, because just like in marketing, they say, not that I'm trying to sell you these books, like I really don't care. It takes like 3 to 5 times seeing the same ad or seeing the same product for you to be convinced to like not even just pick it up, but look into it more to begin with. So perhaps I reminded you of a book that you were intrigued by a month or 2 ago, and you've forgotten what it was or where you saw it or what the pitch was. And hopefully this helped you in any way. I don't know what book hauls are really for. I always say this because like I don't watch them. I like watching wrap-ups when I'm hearing about the books, not just the synopsis of the books, but I know people are into book hauls. I actually saw somebody post the other day. She was like coming back to BookTube after a hiatus, and she said, book hauls are such an easy way to get views and to pull people in and like to instantly get a couple hundred subscribers. And I was like, oh wow, that's happening for people? No, book hauls do not do incredibly well for me, but obviously people love them, seeing them from other people. So anyway, I'm rambling. Is anybody surprised? Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you this weekend for my birthday vlog on my birthday, and I'm gonna be crying in it.